rolling. For everyone who's just joining, we almost missed an episode this week, so I'm happy Tonio was able to carve out some time for us to get another episode here on the Monday Morning Muscle, posted Monday night instead. So still good though. Still good.
Still Monday.
Yes, it's still Monday. And thanks for everyone for their continued support and dropping their subscriptions here, getting this channel growing quickly. So we do appreciate it. Tonio, before we started recording, you're saying you're a little tired. What's going on in life?
Oh man, I was outside working on a truck this morning because my battery died.
Oh, okay.
So I had to, fix that, and then the weather's starting to change, so it's starting to get, rain's starting to come now. Soon it'll be snow.
Yep.
Had the little ones over this past weekend, so kids are crazy.
How much snow do you get out there in Reno?
It depends, bro. There's sometimes we won't get snow at all, but then there's times where, last year, the year before, it was a year before, we got snow in, was it August? Yeah, we got snow real early.
That's really early. Holy cow!
Yeah, and feet feet of snow too, to where the apartments that we're in, they were getting snow plowed, and we had mountains of snow on each corner. You know what I mean? So it gets pretty crazy. Good thing the dogs like it, so that's a good thing. I let them play outside in that. But yeah. So what's cool about Reno is we get everything. We get all seasons. It's not just here or there. It's everything comes. So yeah.
Does it get like crazy hot? I know like it's in Nevada. So does it get crazy hot in summers?
Yeah, I think we had a hot summer this time. It was 110. I think 112 being the highest a few times.
Wow, but you do get the snow, so that's kind of nice. Oh, yeah, my parents, they live out by Dallas in the desert area, and the winters it just gets cold, but there's no snow.
Right.
And in the summers, it's like insanely hot.
Yeah, there was one year it snowed in Texas. Was it 21, 22?
Yeah, every once in a while, like Dallas will get a little flurry, and the whole state just shuts down. People go crazy.
Those icy roads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they don't know how to. I don't know how many Texans we have in the chat. Let us know. But from what I understand, is I'm actually going to be surrendering my Wisconsin driver's license when I go down there in a couple weeks, and I'm going to get a Texas driver's license and be an official Texas resident, but working in California. But for the actual Texas residents, you guys will have to let us know like how bad the driving gets there, because I've definitely heard some rumors.
It's definitely true.
Yeah. And you mentioned you had the kids this weekend.
Yeah. Just while staying up all night, snacks, junk food.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, helping reach that 260, or what's the current off-season goal?
So a 270 and above. I told him because the way we're going, it's going to come sooner than later. You know what I mean? A lot faster than what I thought it would. But I told him I still would rather just, if the body wants to grow, we're going to let it. As long as we're not getting sloppy and all out of shape.
Have you ever gotten sloppy in a, not that you've even had a real off season, but you've never really gotten sloppy?
Nah. Well, this is the heaviest I've been now, too, so.
Yeah, I've seen some Fuad went hard on those off seasons.
Yeah.
Him and who else? Lee Priest went hard.
Oh yeah, Lee Priest. Yeah, he has that picture where his stomach is like, he looks like a little fat boy.
Iconic, where he's like sitting in the chair. Yeah.
Right.
Kai went hard sometimes.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
No. So okay, so 270 or above, you're sitting around like 255 right now?
Yeah, about 260.
Mm-hmm. And then how long officially have you been in your off season?
Since May. So our health phase was, I don't think we started protocol until about a month ago, maybe.
Okay. So I don't really know too much about it, but there's a difference between on season and off season protocols.
Yeah. So, for the most part, as far as like certain supplements or super subs you would take.
Yeah.
Everyone
knows what that means.
Yeah. But, with the health phase is more so, a cruise is what people call it.
Yep.
And, your vitamins and you're making sure everything's functioning right. And then, once you get blood work and it's all healthy, then it's like, okay, now we can start a cycle.
Mhm.
But I was just talking to Justin about this too. I sent him voice messages where we were talking about our cycle, and he was like, well, we haven't necessarily blasted, like people will say, blasting
Yeah.
crews
Yeah.
to even get side effects and from anything. And I was like, so it's funny that people think, depending on the size of someone, they think it comes with extreme amounts of these supplements, but
Yep.
it's like it's actually less than most.
Mhm.
Like I've talked to a few bodybuilders who are the bigger ones, and
Yeah.
when they tell me what they take, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
On the same podcast Fuad was doing, talking about Detroit, they were kind of all, him and Seth Rossi and Mike, Big Mike, they were talking about what the highest amount they've taken during preps and stuff, and they're saying like 2 to 3 grams was like an insane amount of like the higher ends. And when you say a cruise, is that like kind of like the TRT, like the 300 mgs of test, and then I don't know anything else
Right.
outside of that.
Right. So, and it's funny because that's like so that's what a few people say, you take the minimal,
Yeah.
because with certain esters that are faster than others, like let's say, for example, trinase, it's something you will do 3 times a week, and per milliliter per cc is 100 milligrams. So when it's like, okay, we're going to do 300 of that, so you have 3 shots that week or whatever,
Okay.
so on and so forth. When you ask other people, what are they taking, how much, and it's like, oh, I'm doing 700 of that, or
Of
like you said, even
of
grams
trend.
of that, and I'm like,
700.
holy shit, yeah.
Oh my lord.
My next question is, where are you putting all that at? How
The
many times do you have
shoulder,
to do
the
yourself?
glute,
Yeah,
you start
so
running out of
no,
spots,
yeah, I'm good. Like I hear
Holy
people do
cow.
the lats, the shoulders, the quads, glutes, and I'm like, no,
Mhm.
there's no way. So
Yeah, 700 sounds insane. Now, does the typically a lot of the people listening are probably not very educated, including myself. For taking something like test, that's usually like a pre-contest type of. Is that a hardening agent?
no, so actually closer to competition, you actually remove tests.
Or no,
Yeah.
trend.
Oh
Like
yeah. So trend. Yeah.
test, you
So
cut off. You
right,
pull it back, right? Because that makes you a little watery.
right.
Okay,
So some
I
people
know
have
a
like
few things.
whatever test E or test C using, and then closer to the show they'll go to test P, which is your faster ester, and
Oh, wow.
it's lower dose as well. And then like within a week or two, they pull out. A week and a half to 2 weeks, they pull tests out. Trend now becomes higher dose.
Yeah.
In
Is
master
that
round
to
as
like
well.
counteract it, or?
No, I just think, like you said, a hardening agent increases the protein synthesis, just like all the other stuff. But I can't personally tell you exactly which and what does, which is why I have a coach.
Absolutely. Does Justin do everything for you, or because I know
Oh yeah,
Samson, his wife does the training, and then he has a protocol coach.
yeah. Justin handles everything.
It's all in house.
Right, and then Joey is my posing coach, and
Posing,
then
yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So I have
Yep.
the
Shout out to
posing
Joey.
coach. Then I have my coach, and then my boy Quinn. He just moved back to California. Was my training partner. But then you have Johan, who also trains me as well.
Okay. Now,
So
is Johan, is he out of Brazil, or is he there in Reno with you?
no, he's in Brazil.
Okay, I thought
So
you
I
said yeah,
actually
in Brazil.
plan on going at some point, going back to train with him, not for a competition or anything, but to push through that off season as well.
Okay. Kind of keep that like ace in the sleeve or ace in
Right,
the
right,
back pocket, so when you need to really hammer down the sometimes you hit like walls,
right.
Yeah. What's kind of like your secrets? I don't want to divulge too much, but like what's kind of like your off season secrets of not like not burning out when it comes to training?
Oh man, I think that's a mindset thing. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I think anyone who's going to the gym for lifestyle or just because they enjoy it, those are your ones who hit that wall to where they're like, I don't feel like going today. But
Like me.
then, yeah, and you have people who have goals like, oh, I have a show coming up, so I have to be there, even when they don't want to.
Yeah.
So you have people
Especially
like
if
that
they've
as
already
well,
like paid the registration fees and the
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Then then you have, the people like I mean, for me, for instance, with me, I look at bodybuilding like this has now
El-
became that
yeah,
all or
elite
nothing,
tier.
right? You know what I mean? This is, we make it here, or we, sink or swim. You know what I mean? So you
Right.
gotta perfect your craft and be the best you can, and go. When you don't want to go, you got to be there. And the
Yeah.
extra reps, like all that shit counts. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
there's been plenty of days where I'm like, I'm not fucking going to the gym today. It's a rest day. But then
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, somebody else is working. And if I'm not going
Somebody
to be the
else.
best at what I'm doing, why am I doing it?
Yeah. Number
So,
7's working harder.
right.
Number 6 is working harder.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So, and
What
then, you have your people who talk and run their mouths too. So it's like, you'll
does that
see me
help a
again
little
next
bit?
year.
Do you hop in the comment sections? You're like, you know what? Rick James won 1982. I'm going to do an extra rep on the bench just for you.
I like to talk to shit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't get
Yeah, I know
mad.
you do. I've seen it.
It's fun though. On my end, I'm never
Yeah.
serious about it.
No, you can't be,
Yeah. And I talked to Justin about this because he's like, yo, stop, and I'm like, yo, it's fun to me. I've dealt with and seen too much real life to let
Real
comments,
stuff.
you know what I mean? So to
Yeah.
me, that shit's funny. So
Yeah.
they might get mad, but it's funny to me.
Yeah. The real Arnold Schwarzenegger at gmail.com. I don't think he's really bothering Tonio Burton
No.
that much, We're not worried about online screen names bothering one of the best open bodybuilders in the world.
Right. It's like, Chihuahua's biting at a big dog, right?
Very true. Yes, very true. It's like I don't know, like a chihuahua biting at a predator's heel,
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
predator. What else do you use for support when it comes to trying to get back in the gym? Early mornings, you usually don't train. When's the optimal time for Tonio to train?
I'll get
Probably
at
after a
least 4
couple
meals in.
meals. Yeah, 4.
Yeah. Get at
Yeah, and
least
then, and
4
then you
in.
get in there.
And that still leaves me with, 2 meals and sometimes 3 meals, depending on the day. But yeah, so once I get all my meals in, and then I'm already in the morning telling myself, all right, we're going to eat this meal, and after this meal, we're going to the gym. I feel like talking to yourself like that, you're preparing it. So you have
Yeah,
other people be like, okay, at 3 o'clock, I usually go to the gym, and they're already, dreading it. So it's like 3 o'clock comes around, they want to sleep, I'm talking myself up to it. So
yeah, it's like that's the pinnacle of your day. Like that's what all that meal preparation is for that training session.
right. And then I don't know,
Yeah.
like talking to people too, because like me, I stay alone, so being go out every now and then and like talk to people too at the gym,
Yeah.
or they're asking me questions about prep and why we did what we did or whatever. Them just being interested, what I mean? It's cool to sit and conversate with people, which people say is weird that I'm a pro. And at the level I'm at, and I sit and I talk with them. Like I'd rather talk to you, bro, than ignore
Yeah,
you.
Tonio's still a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be one of the best in the world, but he still likes to sit there and chat with people, and sometimes he just likes to sit here and listen to people talk.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
we're all people.
eBay.
Yeah. Shout out to Ebanks for really helping us out with that first 22 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just like a peer professional, like being able to just go into a monologue unprompted, and
Right.
then after 20 minutes, just realizing, oh yeah, we've been doing this for 20 minutes. Like, what was the question?
Yeah. He came up with his own questions in his head and answered them all.
He did. Just ran through his whole bio real quick and was like, what did I miss?
Right.
Man, stuff we did not miss this week was the UK Pro.
Oh yeah.
That was what was your thoughts on that show coming in? Because I can't say I was too excited. No disrespect to the lineup, but there wasn't like a Hunter Labrada, there wasn't like a Tonio Burton, like someone jumping into that show to really make it super exciting. Or maybe am I looking at it the wrong way, because there's all essentially, you got tier 2 guys all battling it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good lineup, as far as like who's all in it, especially when everyone's closely matched. I think that's what brings the excitement. If you had that same lineup and then a Nick Walker jumped in, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Are we even
okay.
going to watch this show?
So it's more exciting knowing that the competition's actually going to be higher.
Right. If it's closer in competition, the better, I think. You know, I'd rather
Okay.
do a show where there's big names in it than, you know, people who are just getting started.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you jumped into New York.
Right.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
with this one, I don't know. Like, I've seen a few people, who was it? Bruno, Andrea,
yeah. Bruno Santos was
Patrick.
good. Presti, Patrick, Lewis Breed, Mona Sur is a solid guy. He won the KO Squad Pro before. Lorenzo got top 5. Oh, it's in order. Wow, they're making
Yeah.
it really easy for me. Thank you, Daniel, over at Bodybuilding Sub Orders. Wow. Man, walk us through Patrick Moore. Like, what was going on there? What exactly happened there?
Yo, I don't know. When I seen his stage shots, I felt like Patrick looked good. I
He
think
didn't
he
look
could have squeezed
bad.
in, huh?
He didn't look bad
Nah, I
per
mean,
se.
I don't think it was, you know, Patrick from a few years ago when he won Cal.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't think he looked bad for, you know, first call out. I think he could have made it in there as well. So
yeah.
I was
I think
surprised
he
with
was
his
like
seven.
he was right on the cusp of first call out.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely reminded me of what we've seen from him before, but I would say probably a downsized package.
Yeah.
I think I remember his upper body being bigger, and he had it was an Achilles tear, right?
Yeah. I know he took a lot of time off and then an injury came as well.
Yeah, as he was prepping for was he prepping for the Arnold? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe in his front relax, he could pick his chest up instead of clenching abs like that too, though.
Yeah, because that's what most people do is they really they what do you do? They pick the ribs up.
Yeah, you want to be big in those poses,
Because that's like the first time the judges get to see you.
right? Especially when you have a big lineup and everyone's standing big. He's making himself smaller.
Oh, these are all old pictures. I really do hate it when people do that. They don't let anyone tag them.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if Dan posted anything of Patrick.
Well, you get some
I
strange people that'll tag you.
Oh yeah, especially go on Nick Walker's page and look at his tags. Good lord, that is. I'm not gonna say it's strange people, but it's definitely a very interesting
hmm
look. But
It's funny because I mean I wouldn't tag people that I don't know.
right, but these people are just like, I'm gonna tag this person and this person, even though I don't
Right.
know them, and just hope they take a look. Let's shift gears from Patrick and take a look. It looks like Dan did post some good footage from top 4. It looks like finals. Mona Sur all the way on the right, looking phenomenal. Lewis Breed, this guy's really coming up out of nowhere.
hmm
Really hard. Kind of reminds me of like a Texas bodybuilder. I don't know if he's from Texas, but he's got that nice hard look, very
Right.
dense. And then you got Bruno Santos on the left and Andrea Presti in the middle. Outside of the legs with Andrea Presti, what is he losing in these shots?
I was looking on his back double. His lower lats are non-existent.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if that was some. I remember my feedback being bigger in the lower back area. When
Okay.
I first jumped into when I was in 212, Olympia, that was one of my feedbacks
Oh,
was
for
to
you
bring out my
personally?
lower back more.
Oh, okay.
hmm I mean, because it's easy to eat or hit your upper back, but to target that lower it's so easy to get disproportionate in that.
Yeah, I couldn't even start. Oh wow, that's not a good shot. No. At least the live stream came out pretty good.
Yeah, and then I think another thing with Presti, his upper body overpowers his lower.
Yes,
And I don't know if it's because how
extremely.
tall he is or whatever, but I think that's a big thing with it.
Now, what do you think? It's been a while. Like, what do you think he can do to fix that? There's Andrea. Because I don't feel like his legs have been coming up as much as we hoped they would.
Nah, I mean, probably the way he's hitting them, he's probably, chasing weight instead of volume. Or he
Yeah.
could be doing the other way and it just doesn't work for him.
Yeah, because we're seeing the same look year in, year out. Maybe small improvements in the upper body.
Yeah.
Always good conditioning, but you know, you gotta think the judges are giving him the same feedback as what we're giving right now. Tonio, is the legs need to come up, the lower back you mentioned perfectly.
Right. And then I mean, you
So
look at Bruno's back; it's complete.
let's see.
So I
That's
think that's what
Mo. That's Patrick.
a lot of us forget to look at. You know, this person might be bigger, and it might be more conditioned, but this person is complete, and he has conditioning.
I'm not seeing him in the feed, but here's Patrick. Here's a better look at Patrick.
Hey, wasn't he going to classic physique at some point?
Whenever I look at him, I always wonder like how much would he have to drop to make it to classic?
Well, he's
Because
a taller guy. He's like what 5'9", 5'10".
yeah, I'm pretty sure. You got to think he would look good there. He's already got the structure. He's got the muscle, the foundation. I just think with this recent injury and the time off, the time away from the stage, he
Yeah,
had the hype coming into the show. It just didn't happen.
yeah, it's crazy because I mean, pictures I've seen, he looked good. So
Yeah,
I definitely thought
coming into
top
the show,
five
he
for
looked
sure.
good. But then once he get compared to people, that's when like the density really showed that he was just missing a lot of thickness.
Right, and his back, huh?
Yep, the back.
Yeah,
Yep, could use some improvements. And Mona Sur, he got a good look here.
I was like, he
I
looked good
believe
too.
he was top 4. He is an Olympian. He won the KO Squad Pro a couple years back. It was a pretty light lineup at that show, but still, you know, an Olympian nonetheless. Quality's a little tough here, but
I
I mean,
was
you
like,
can
yeah, it's
see
making him
some.
look soft.
Yeah, you can see some cuts in the hamstrings. You can see the striations in the glutes just barely. Great oil. They did a great job with his tan and his oil. You can see those. Oh yeah, look at the feathering. Great vacuum. What
Oh
does he
yeah,
need here? Where does he need to add muscle to?
I
I
was
mean,
like, I mean, he
he
looked
looks
good
pretty
for the most
proportionate.
part. I mean, but his chest
Yeah,
right there,
the chest you could definitely.
his lats.
That's a good structure.
I was
He's
like,
got to
yeah,
slow down
from
this
the side,
posing.
he's good from the side.
Yep, the hamstring was good. The drop.
And then right here, this same with me. This exposes the hamstring. This pose
Mm.
from the side, it could look thick, but from the back, it's gonna let you know
Yep.
how the density
It's
really there or
a
not.
little shallow. Yeah. Interesting. Well, Mona Sur, congratulations, top 4. Andrea Presti with a very close second place finish behind Bruno Santos.
I wonder if what's messing with Presti is the not really improving.
You gotta. I mean, if someone said to you like you're not improving after at least the last 3 years, we've seen him doing that European Championships, doing some of the Italy shows. We've seen him
Right.
down there. I mean, he's from Italy, so and he's never really placed crazy well at the Olympias.
True.
You know, I wonder if that does start to wear on you.
Oh yeah, I think when you ask a judge for feedback and you come back and you did what they said, they're gonna, you get an award for it. It might not be the win, but
Yeah, they
okay, you
might
know
give you that
what?
nod. They're like, "Hey, at least we know you did something."
Right, right. So you're placing, move you up a little bit, but so I think that could be something because if he's just looking the same, they're gonna eventually start pushing you out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if you are listening to the judges and you're doing the work, if the results aren't working, I mean, actually that actually leads perfectly into, I didn't even have it on our list here, but Brandon Curry. What
Hmm.
does this guy need to do to stay in the conversation?
Get bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, I mean, look
Where?
at everybody in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge.
Huge. Now, is it? He's always been known for having like a really good upper body, great back, good symmetry, but the legs have just been betraying him.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta think he spends his whole life out there in Kuwait training, so you'd think that there would be some improvements, but I just feel like I'm not seeing it as a commentator. I can't imagine what the judges are telling him,
Right.
but yet he still gets really good looks at the Arnolds and the Olympia.
Oh yeah, I mean his shape, his structure will forever be nice, and he does have the muscle. You know, what I mean, he does come in shape as well. He doesn't miss. But again, when you have your top three are mass monsters for the most part, they're the biggest, some of the bigger people on stage.
Yep. Very big, very complete, not a lot
Mm-hmm.
of missing areas,
Right.
great conditioning. Let's pull some footage up for the audience so they can check out what Brandon Curry's got going on. What really made me think, I've been critical of Brandon and his legs, and he shows that he's training them. But I saw a video of Nick Walker training legs the other day, and he was talking about wanting to work on his outer sweep. And Nick is young, Nick is fresh, and he's got great legs. So I wish we could just see even a percentage of that improving with Brandon.
So I mean, and it could be him going heavy as he goes.
So
You know,
maybe he just
like
needs more time under tension.
right. I'm growing faster now, training like how I did when I was in Brazil. We didn't go super heavy. I mean, if anything, we just chased volume like crazy. And that's what works. At some point, you do have to get heavier in your lifts. I agree, but to be on the leg press doing 10 plates on each side or whatever, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, that's
Like
just I can't.
I want to focus on his movement coming down and going up, and the muscle that's hitting it. Not
Yeah, the
I don't
contraction.
want this shit to break my leg
Right.
and crush me. So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they try to go heavy.
Yeah.
You break your muscle down a lot more, a lot easier by feeling the movement, which is by staying control and going lighter. We
Mm-hmm.
go heavier, whether it's I'll say rack pull or a pushing movement. We're now throwing the weight or we're yanking the weight, and that's all the difference. So when I'm training people, I also tell them, don't yank it, lift it. There's a difference. We can use all our momentum to keep throwing it up, but if we're just lifting it from the floor up, now we're
Mm-hmm.
feeling it. Now the muscle's working. Now it's not recruiting other muscle. So like how he's doing leg extension right there, his whole upper body moving and he's dipping his hips to get his legs up. He's going too heavy.
Yeah.
The
He's
only
not.
thing that should be moving is his shins, flexing at the
Mm.
knee. That's it.
And Brandon, we're telling you this because we love you and we want you to be successful. We know you're a Mr. Olympia and an Arnold Classic champion, but whatever Abdullah's got you going through right now, Tonio Burton's saying it's not optimal.
Just want to recruit less muscle for what I'm trying to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like hamstrings, leg extensions. You see people do it and they're dipping their back, or you can see them like launching themselves forward to get it up. That's too heavy.
Yep, I would agree. I'm definitely guilty myself of even this. I mean, it's always funny to compare me to Brandon Curry, but I was doing chest press today, and I've noticed, I'm all broken. My body hurts. Hopefully, when I get back, I can get some more muscle therapy done and get some of these knots worked out.
Oh
But
yeah,
I noticed, like, if I just drop the weight to like 95 pounds on a bench, I feel that so much more because I know I'm starting to learn that like I let the shoulders round when I'm pressing, and I need to keep them back to let the
right,
chest actually move the weight. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it feel right. Where when I come out of an exercise, it's my chest that's sore and not my elbows and my shoulders.
right.
And that's just such a painful lesson to learn at. So I'll be 31 in 3 weeks.
I mean, it's all trial and error. I didn't have anyone around to teach me how to lift or teach me proper form or shit like that. It was kind of like you do it, and at some point you're gonna find, okay, this feels better. Then you'll hear it on YouTube from like CT or someone saying tuck your elbows when you bench,
Yep.
pinch your back when you're getting ready to push. And so that's why I tell people, and most exercises is going to be a big chest, so you have to exaggerate.
Yep.
But it's never going to be a rounded, back or anything. Arch your back, big chest. That's what most exercises require.
Mm.
So that's just a simple way to fix form right there.
just big chest and shoulders back.
Yeah, make your chest big, pull your shoulders back.
Tonio, if only it was that easy, we'd be cooking. Here's a question for you, Tonio, and also for the audience. Is Big Ramy competing?
You know what? I was like, I heard he's coming back. He's doing it.
He's got to come back for something, but what and when?
Maybe not this year, next year.
Yeah.
Or better yet,
but
maybe
for what?
Arnold.
Is he going to do? Well, I mean, the Arnold really screwed the pooch on him. Like, try finding footage of him from the last Arnold that he did.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that.
It's hard to find anything. I don't know. I don't want to say they, like the Illuminati went in there and wiped out all the footage. But when I remember covering it, I take that back. I was there, and I thought he looked phenomenal. And then come getting back from the show and wanting to do the side-by-side comparisons, the Mark's Max Muscle stuff, there's nothing out there. We got to use live stream footage and then take screenshots to see what he looked like.
Huh.
So I don't know what is going on with that. I'd love to hear. At this point, Tyler Mannion is like the guy to talk to when it comes to these kind of questions, and hopefully we can pitch it to him, and he'll give us some kind of response. But It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's one thing with the judges too. Because Tyler didn't judge UK show, did he? He wasn't there.
I don't think so. No.
Oh yeah, so yeah, he won't cover it. So a lot of the shows that he's talked about were the ones that he was judging.
He actually judged. Okay.
Yeah, he won't. Because now if he doesn't agree, now he's stepping on someone else's toes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he won't touch it.
It also does add to that story arc of, if you're not there in person, then you're not really seeing the full picture, which I agree with in a lot of capacities. But also, when you look at someone like myself as a commentator, I'm not going to be at every pro show. I'm lucky if I get to 2 or 3 a year. So am I supposed to just take at face value the opinion of someone else? Or am I supposed to be able to look at something objectively and give my audience an opinion?
Right. And I think, like you said, that's what you should do. Is put your own opinion to it, because some will agree with you, and some won't, and that causes some type of debate, which is what we need. You know what I mean?
Open dialogue, not we don't need people yelling at people online who you might think represent the league. You don't want to have attack dogs going out there saying, hey, like you can't say that because you weren't there.
Right.
It's not what do you call it? It's not dog whistling, and it's like a non-answer. It's just like, oh well, if you can't commentate on pro bodybuilding if you're not a pro. It's like that holds no value. That's not reality. Just my opinion, of course. I'm never going to be a pro. That's not my I don't even know if I'm going to make it to an NPC stage at this point. Like I'm so focused on my few things that I have in life that doing the things that it would require to be a pro, even a crappy pro, it's just not. I don't have any desire to do that.
Yeah,
I wanna for BNN. I want to advocate for athletes and help promote shows and help grow the sport of professional bodybuilding. And here on Monday Morning Muscle, I want to bring cool guests that can talk with me and Tonio and have fun and help grow the channel and see what we can do with this thing. So those two things outside of my entire personal life, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
I am working. I'm in the gym. I did my 30 minutes on the stepper today, and then I hit some chest. I hit some flies and some presses and some overhead pressing and some laterals. So nothing crazy, but I think I did enough to stimulate, maybe at least maintenance. Like I'm just trying to find like a rhythm right now. 6 meals a day. I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah.
I've got 3 chicken meals, and Brent, hopefully I'm getting this right on the math here. I got 3 chicken meals, I got 1 beef meal, and I got 1 egg meal. So 4 eggs, 200, everything's like about 200 grams of rice. And it's just, oh my God. Tonio, I have so many alarms on this gosh darn thing. Every 3 hours, I've got an alarm yelling at me, telling me to eat.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny because I don't even like take it to that extent. It's where I know what meals I have, and when I'm hungry again, I'll eat it. You know, I and you get some people who like, oh fuck, I missed a meal, like, and they get all bent out of shape or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that just means you eat later,
Right.
Big deal, right? And so that's what actually advice I give a lot of these NPC competitors. It's like, dude, you won't see much pros stressing not eating a meal when they plan to eat it. Because the moment we start stressing, especially before a show, we're going to fuck up. So it's kind of like, all right, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But
so you don't put a lot of stress into like the meal timing. It's more about the daily caloric intake.
Right. I just make sure I get it in, when I can. So like I said, I train a few people. Sometimes I'll go hours over, the 2 hour, 3 hour before I eat. Yeah. And when I get home, I'll just eat. And sometimes I'll go to bed at 10, sometimes 12, but whatever.
But that's okay.
Yeah,
hey, that's the perks of being a full-time bodybuilder.
Right.
/ rodeo dancer.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
I saw that again, and I was like, that's a good video.
Yeah, that was the first day. So I have that one from the second day where like I like ripped off the tank top and posed for everyone. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, so they had you come out twice?
Oh yeah, so the first time it was they were doing a flex cam, and then they spotted me and they're like, "Oh, you got to come over here and flex."
Yep.
So I'm like, all right. And again, I was helping my buddy with his company, so I take off his shirt and I just like rip off the tank top. I pose, and then after that part or whatever, we're at the dancing part of the rodeo where the concert was going, and they pulled me aside and they go, "Just so you know, everyone loved it." And I'm like, okay, that's good. They're like, yeah, so good, you're going to be a part of it. You're going to be dancing tomorrow. I said, I'm not dancing. I'm definitely not a dancer. And then he goes, I know you know some moves. So they start playing the slow music. I'm like, yo, I'm not stripping.
Yeah.
This is a family function. So no, I'm good. But next day came, and like they even gave me a bonus for it too. So it was cool to just guest pose without even planning to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That on top of that movie feature you had, I mean, you were kind of busy this year.
Oh yeah, Fit for Murder.
Yeah, it was the Kovacs, right?
Right. So it was crazy. Actually, one of my buddies hit me up and was like, "Hey, I was told to hit you up to see if you want to be in a movie." The way I'm cool with him, to where instantly my mind went the other way. Like, dude, you're sick.
Yeah.
And then,
it's like one of those movies.
So he hits me up. I reach out to the people, and they're like, "Yeah, you'll be perfect." Go down, and then when they see me in person, they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be even better." This is perfect. And then they planned everything, met up with them. We went to the Low Nugget in Sparks here in Reno, and we did the whole scene on stage where we posed against each other, and he like knew it was game over once walked out, and even his lady too. So I thought that was dope. And then we went to the party for the dinner. They showed that scene as well, and then when we were backstage tanning. So it was cool, and the actors were cool. Meeting all them, like that was dope, and watching Melissa, her do her performance. So she had a stunt performer, whatever. Okay. So she would do all the tricks or whatever, and as she lands, they'll switch it to Melissa and let her do the landing. So I was like, yo, they played it perfect because you couldn't even tell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way the Hollywood does their things, it's really impressive.
Yeah, it was nuts. But I think the hardest part about it was keeping it a secret.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. Like, what, knowing that you were going to be pulling out of the Olympia, that was a painful. Because I'm just
Hmm.
like, oh man, I want to talk about it so bad, and I got like my crew together, all the other YouTube commentators, and I'm always just like, oh my god, I got some really interesting information, but I can't really say anything right now. So you guys are gonna have to hang out just a little bit. I got really exciting news. It's coming out in a couple weeks, so just bear with me. Lo and behold, I'm like, okay, how many top Olympians am I like close with? I'm like, okay, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot because it's like, is you and Clay Har, and Clay Har retired, and Derek Oslin, I haven't really seen much of him lately.
Hmm.
Jason Lowe, he's getting ready for the Legion. Tyler Johnson's getting ready for the Olympia and Classic Physique. Justin Ballerina, he's getting ready for his first Olympia and Classic.
Right.
Uh, Amazing improvements. Who else am I close with? That's about it. Yeah. I can't say I'm too crazy close with that many open guys. Unfortunately, trying to, hopefully we can build some more bridges here on Monday Morning Muscle.
Oh yeah. I mean, we got a few people.
We
It's just
we've
waiting to
got
talk to Olympia now.
we've got an awesome lineup coming up,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you stay tuned for probably like this is episode 4. So like episode 7 through like 15 are going to be bangers.
Right. Right.
But make sure you guys watch them all. Watch them all. You never know. You might get some little nuggets of information here and there. But I was talking with Matt Kouba. I was talking with him in his off season. He's putting on some serious weight right now.
Hmm.
He's never really taken an off season. I was talking to him 2 Arnolds ago, I think. And he was like, yeah, I haven't announced it yet, but he said he was going to take an extended off season and really put on some off season weight. So he's doing it right now. Let's take a look at Matt Kouba and see where he's at. And Matt's one of these guys that he jumps into shows. He's always at like the top of that second call out. It's just never really cracking into that top 4 conversation. And I'd love to get your thoughts, Tonio, on what does Matt need to do to really get to that next level? Looks like around 330 pounds in the off season.
Oh yeah. So I competed against him. What show was it? I don't know if it was Chicago, maybe.
And the Indy.
Was it in Indy?
Yeah, it looks like this is an Indy picture in the background.
So I think he was open though, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That
Yeah.
background
So
is, yeah.
maybe it could have been Orlando because I did it. Maybe it was Orlando because I did Orlando Pro in the Open, and I mean he's doing what he needs to do, and that's like he said, the off season. Just building more of that density,
And he's coaches.
especially because he's a taller guy as well.
Yeah, he is.
So
there he is,
that's
right next
that's
to
always
you.
there. Oh, there it is, right there.
Wow, that's a nice haircut.
Oh
I
my
dig
gosh, that's when I have my curls.
Dang. What happened? Tony, what happened to the curls?
You know what? I go through these phases. I guess I don't know.
Isn't that what they say? Curls for the girls?
Yeah, you know what? I got pulled off the market. That's why.
That happens. I always thought with Matt it was the lat inserts.
Yeah,
they inserted kind of high. You can't really tell from here.
well, his chest.
Yep, the chest could use some density.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that right where that where it ties into that the delt area.
Right.
That could use some filling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to bring Matt on. And he coaches Nathan Epler.
Yeah,
maybe we can bring
I talked
both
to Nathan
those guys
as well.
on. Yeah, Nathan's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I met Nathan Indy Pro. We both did it 212.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, Matt Kouba, we're calling you out. Come on the Monday Morning Muscle podcast, and we can talk about what your strategy is right now in your off season. 330 pounds, looking to make some serious improvements coming into the 2025 Men's Open bodybuilding season. And also, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what your strategy is with Nathan Epler. Coming from a first call out 212 Olympian to now he's in the top 3 Men's Open bodybuilding shows. So obviously, there's something's working, and we'd love to hear your strategy with him and also with yourself. So
yeah, it's funny.
Chat, pin it.
Even Indy talking to Nathan, we knew Open was going to be the move.
Yeah.
because he was
for a lot of you 212 guys, it's if you're genetically blessed, like you're gonna go up.
right. But yeah, he was another guy just too tall.
Too tall.
Jewett, too tall.
Yeah. Yeah, because once you get you're too tall, then you got to really cut down that weight. And I mean, you look at someone like I know it's stupid to say, but with with Derek,
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I mean, you know perfectly. You compete with the guy. You stood on stage with him. From his 212 look, he looked so depleted.
Yeah.
And then he came into the open with that invitation, and that dude was full as a house.
Right.
But still had those crazy diced glutes, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't even feel like it's humanly possible.
I told him last time his physique is unfair.
He's built for this.
Yeah, the width
Brother Derek
in his back is like the width of someone who's 6 foot.
Yeah,
you know, and Derek's with like 5'4", 5'5".
He's got the back that Andrew Jack should have.
Yeah.
Andrew Jack has a good back, but imagine if he had this kind of density and bubbliness. It's stupid. It's truly stupid.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, between him and Hadi with these updates they've been putting out, it's like, yo, this is crazy.
Oh, these guys, they are ready. They're ready to throw down as the Olympia returns to its home in Las Vegas. It's just gonna be phenomenal. You know, myself and Tonio, we're not going to be there this year. Tonio prioritizing other things, and myself prioritizing finishing up this deployment and getting home, taking some time off, taking a week or so and relax. I will be covering the Olympia remotely like I am right now, so make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm sure we'll be putting out some sort of increased frequency of episodes during the Olympia. You know, we'll try to come out with, episodes maybe, I don't know, every other day, or maybe we'll recap day 1, day 2, just to give you guys an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you guys can hear from the Predator's mouth his thoughts on what's going on with the Olympia, since he is stepping away this year and taking an off season. Yeah, but Derek's looking phenomenal.
Yeah, him and Hadi looking crazy.
And him and Hadi. And Nick, like...
I was saying, Nick is about to get even more crazy.
So, this is the conversation I keep having on Bodybuilding and Friends over on BNN, is, myself, Xavier Willis, Marks Max Muscle, EP09, Project Bodybuilding, a new rising channel as well, comparisons. We're all talking about, what does the Olympia look like? Does the Olympia go with the short guys? You got Hadi, Nick, and Derek. You got those 3, and then Brandon maybe is in that mix. Is that going to be the look this year? Or is it going to be kind of like last year where it was the mix? You had the shorts, and then you had the talls with Samson. But then you have Andrew Jack in the mix now.
He is good. Top 5 right there.
I don't think we've ever, and Tony, I'd love to get your thoughts here as we start to get exciting towards the 50-minute mark. Have we ever had an Olympia this close where, I mean, objectively, I don't know if Nick Walker can win this year, but if he could, everyone in the top 5 could technically, theoretically, in the right circumstances for them and maybe the wrong circumstances for someone else.
Right.
Unfortunately, the sport of bodybuilding, not everyone's going to peak perfectly. So you're going to have onesie twosies. Have we ever had an Olympia in your time as a bodybuilder where everyone in the top 5 has a chance at winning?
I think this Olympia is different than anyone, than any of them that we've seen. I agree about, it's going to be a Derek and Hadi competition again.
It has to be, yeah.
I believe Nick gets his spot back. In that 3rd, 4th with him and Samson, they're going to battle.
Yep.
I do believe Andrew could be in that top 5, but it also depends on who comes, because you have someone like Martin as well that's coming.
Martin's big. There's a big push, and he's complete.
He's not as big
And
as Andrew, but
no, but I've seen
turn to the side.
comparisons where Martin he wins more poses.
Right.
And
That's what I'm
Xavier over at
saying.
Desktop Bodybuilder agrees. He's
He's
like,
very
yeah,
complete,
it
and he comes with good conditioning.
Yep, bodybuilding math. Martin wins more shots.
So I mean, he can definitely squeeze in there. As big as I've seen him, he's bigger than Brandon. Again, conditioning's crazy. He's a complete bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So I definitely see him up there. That 5'6" is definitely possible for Martin to be right there. Hunter as well. So that's where that gets a little weird.
Hunter starts to really mix it up because
right.
He was good in Italy. The live stream was trash. The photos I saw afterwards were really good. So, Hunter will be in that conversation.
Right. So that's where it's going to get hard is right there.
Right. How far does Brandon get pushed out?
Right. So from that 5th, 6th, 7th is going to be the battle.
Yeah.
Who's going to get in those spots? Because then you have Rafa.
Battle all the way to the 12th is going to be a battle. I mean, because then you've got who's outside that? You got Rafael Bradeo.
He's definitely top 10.
God,
if he comes with the conditioning he brought to Ohio,
yeah,
he will be. I think the conditioning he brought to Ohio, because I don't think people know how big Rafa really is.
He looks big.
See him in fucking person.
Yeah,
he's a monster. He's huge.
And people say you're big.
Nah, he's bigger.
He's bigger.
Rafa's huge. So if you have him with his conditioning, I mean, he jumps into your top 5. I think he could pull it because he's also complete.
Oh wow, what a wrench that would be if Rafa. Holy cow!
He just has to bring his conditioning. He brings conditioning, it's gonna be bad, and because he's also a complete bodybuilder,
and he's got the shape. So him and Samson could look pretty good next to each other.
Exactly, they already did before
in Ohio.
Right? Yeah, that one. And there, I think there was one more, but yeah, Ohio. They did the Arnold. Both did the Arnold together.
Yeah.
And he looks damn good next to Samson too.
I mean, that's a huge feather in your cap. Samson, he's one of those guys right now.
So that's what I'm saying. That whole after that 5, 6, 7 spot's gonna be bad.
And where does Bonek land in this?
I think
we already have the top 10 locked in already.
Yeah, I think man, I'm a fan of Bonek. But if we're looking from a bodybuilding standpoint, I feel like his quads are narrow. Even in his front shot, his upper body looks too big compared to his legs. His fucking biceps are crazy. His back is nuts.
But we're not going to see a top 2 Bonek anymore.
Nah.
I'd like to see him in that top 10, but I'm so excited for this Olympia.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good guys in just the top 10.
Right.
You start getting into the third. I mean, if they do, 5 people call outs, I mean, once you get to that third call out, it's still pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we're not having oversaturated Olympias anymore, where we've got 20 something guys in the open because they let a bunch of other people qualify.
Yeah, I think this is one of those Olympias where it's like, if you place top 10, you will be better than someone from another Olympia who placed top 7.
Very
because
true.
of the competition that's here now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's something you got to look at too. But realizing, and this is just me being a realist for myself,
Sure.
I've talked to judges and their feedback wasn't to pull out; it was to bring your conditioning. But me talking, to myself, even I bring my conditioning, and you have someone like Samson or Andrew or Nick and Rafa who could bring size and conditioning.
Yeah.
I fall behind them already.
It's hard for you to dance with that.
Right. So it's like, I gotta, take my time, grow, and bang it off from there. Like I said, I still haven't posted those damn updates. I will today. Promise I'll post them today.
All right.
But you see the added size.
I'm posting this tonight, so you're gonna have to be on it. This is going up in like 3 hours.
The video's made. I just haven't posted it yet. But you see the added size, and you're like, damn, you know, if he looks like this on stage, this could be a problem.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
that's the look we're going for, is to look like this, but on stage.
Yep.
So,
Sacrificing short-term wants for long-term needs, just like your
right,
coach
right, right.
Justin said.
So, yeah, I
Yep.
think, I mean, if, yeah, so that's, like we were saying, that the 6, 7, 8 spot, 5, 6, 7, 8 is going to be some crazy.
It's
Because, I
just gonna
mean,
be
reason why I
so
say
good.
that's the battle is because you know who your top 3 is, or top 2 at least. You know, with your top 3, I believe Nick or Simpson.
Yep.
Andrew can squeeze in there. But then you have these other hitters, Rafa, Martin, Hunter, Andrew, who else was
Curry.
in it? Curry, Bonac, where it's just kind of like, yo, if one of them come the little slightest of off, that they're done. They're going to
Yep.
get pushed out. So everyone has to come on their game. You can't miss on this Olympiad.
Yeah, I think Martin has to peak perfectly. Otherwise,
Yeah.
his muscle's so new that he has to be 95 or above % for that detail to really show. Whereas Bonac, that muscle's so mature and deep that he could probably come 95%, 92%, and he's still going to look good,
Right. And
which
that's
is rare.
whoever comes off a little bit is going to be bad. So
Yep.
prejudging has to be. And that's another thing, too. Muscle maturity is real, you know?
Truly.
That exists. And that could be why when Martin and Andrew did Texas, before Martin took his break, that
Yep.
could be why Andrew pulled away with it. Because Martin was more conditioned for sure.
That
But
was a good showing for Martin, yeah.
yeah, but you looked at, I mean, your eyes just went back to Andrew.
Yeah, it was really
Especially
hard
in
to
that
not look
fucking
at him.
front lat spread he has, where his abs are just like painted on still.
He just starts with it, and then that front double, he does the little tilt, the
yo.
midsection. I mean, the guy, if he could just make those side shots look a little more dense, I don't know, what does he need in those side shots to win every shot?
I think when he does his side chest, he puts so much emphasis on squeezing his chest that it makes him cave in and get small. Someone that big, we know his chest is fucking huge.
Yeah,
He just lifts it up and turn a little bit more. It's gonna be game over. No one can compete with his size like that. That's not his
he's
height.
just a freak, you know. Let's take
And the same thing with his side try.
As we reach the top of the hour, thank you everyone for watching. Let's take a look at. Everyone's seen this footage.
Yeah.
But it's just, who would have thought that the training partner of Larry Wheels would turn into such a icon in men's open?
Right.
He just doesn't lose these shots.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will get him in his front shots.
But the sides. And you're saying it's the chest squeezing that throws it off. Okay. Well, he's moving a little quick, but
yeah, I was like, "Where'd it go?"
I was looking at the titties, and I was like, "Well, I didn't get to look at anything else." Which I'm definitely guilty in life of looking at the titties and missing the other things. But I'm human, I'm a guy. But good Lord, this is just such a good package from him.
Yeah, see, and even in his back double, when he did it, if he rotates his wrist back more and pushes his elbows forward just a little bit, like he's doing a chest fly, his lats will come out more.
Wow. Chris Psycho Lewis, are you listening?
And even with a side tricep, if you're able to stand like that in a side tri, it'll be lights out. But Tyler said he doesn't like that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does a different variation for the try.
Yeah.
And I guess it just comes down to like how much is he being penalized from Tyler and from Steve,
Right. Because they went over it on the variations of what they want in certain poses.
Yep.
And with the side try, they want that leg to the side, not turning out to where you're showing the front.
Right. Yeah, they want to see the quad sweep and
right.
But if you're already seeing that stuff in the side chest, technically you kind of already know what it's going to look like in the side try, but you have how many people you got on stage and you're supposed to be thinking through all that on the fly. It's like,
yeah,
come on, make it easier for the judges. Like, give yourself the best opportunity, the best chance to win.
Right. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay tuned. Monday Morning Muscle, except tonight, Monday Night Muscle. We're gonna be digging into the Olympia as much as we can, coming into it just about 3 weeks out. We do have the France Pro. I believe it's this weekend, which is the first qualifier for next year. From what I know, Theo Laguerriere is the only Olympian doing it so far. But ladies and gentlemen, do not be surprised if more people jump in, especially Olympians that are looking to get that early qualification. And then I believe the week after that is Legion, which we can talk about lightly here on Monday Morning Muscle. I know on BNN I will not be covering the show from YouTube because the promoter likes to copyright strike people, and he's already gotten me once about 3 years ago. So and that's I don't know, Tony, if you've ever even heard this before, but like most people don't cover the Legion sports because Chris likes to copyright strike people. Well,
Right.
maybe not but it's hard to talk about it because my entire purpose is promoting shows and promoting athletes. But when you have promoters directly like striking your channels over like $5 of ad revenue, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It makes people scared to cover the shows. You know, Tominator, if you remember him, he was big YouTuber. He stopped because of Legion. Like he got his stuff caught. He got like 2 copyright strikes in the same weekend. And he was deleting videos, trying to get rid of stuff, and like he was just like, "There's no point in me continuing if my stuff's just going to get deleted and wiped." So he's like, "I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop posting. I'm going to leave all my videos online for everyone to enjoy. But this is me officially retiring from what he does."
Oh wow.
And yeah, so just getting your reaction is like, you know, it's a bummer. And you're out there, so it's like that's like one of the easiest shows for you to get to. And it's unfortunate that, you know, we kind of had blacklisted, or he blacklisted himself.
Yeah.
So I would love to have a conversation with Chris. You know, maybe you can make that happen, bring him on, and we can have a conversation. Maybe we'll bring him on, and Paul Lazan we'll bring on, and we can bring on what's his name? Who was the guy who owned Indie Pro before he retired?
Oh,
Dave Bowers.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun podcast. Bring a bunch of promoters on and just like have people just talk about the inside details of bodybuilding.
Oh yeah. Well, what we don't get to see and what we don't know. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I had no idea that bringing 212 to a show costed $15,000 just to pay the pro league, the Manions. Like that's insane. Why does it cost so much money?
And then some of it, I mean, some to go towards them, but also your prize money too for them.
So it's 15 is just the sanctioning fee.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay another 10 grand or more for the prizes.
Yeah, I was like, you think running the show is like, oh, I can get rich off of this.
Right.
Think you lose a lot of money before you start making
it. No, the Manions are making a butt ton of money, which I'd love to see where that money's going. You know, it's not going back to the athletes, that's for sure.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, where would it? You know, the Olympia is paid by Jake Wood, so that's his money, right? And then Arnold is Arnold.
I mean,
so where's that money going?
I don't know. I would say prize money, or I mean, even getting venues too for some. You know what I mean, or whatever.
So that's the promoters paying for that, right?
For what?
The venues.
I mean, they book it, yeah, but I mean, you have your athlete to put up too, for all their registration, all those fees. I believe some of that goes to that as well.
You think that goes to the promoter to help pay for the show, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the sanctioning fees.
Yeah.
So if they drop 15 grand just for the 212, how much is it for the Open? How much is it for the men's physique classic? Where's all that money going? How much overhead is it for the pro league? You know,
when you start the league, you do what you want.
Yeah, but who owns? So Jim Manion is the president, but who's the owner of the pro league?
So it's I think was it last year's Olympia? They actually did a story on what what the pro league was before, and then they separated and did their own thing, and then how they just blew up from there. So I mean, I thought that was cool. And I mean, you look at it as a franchise standpoint, like
Yeah.
if I create this league and you want to join in on it, you're going to give me some of that because at
Hmm.
the end of the day, I did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, I sometimes I sound like, I think I sound a little too critical towards the Manions. I think the only thing is I'd like to see more transparency of like
yeah, I
what's going
got you.
on. The whole athlete rep thing. I mean, I know I've been talking about it on BNN for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to see somebody who can actually speak for the athletes to talk with the pro league and get, I mean, tangible answers on the questions. You know, putting
Yeah,
one way in for classic, standardizing backgrounds for when you do the live stream. You've got like a little block that's just for photos, and then you have all the promoters and stuff. You have all their information on the sides. Like, I mean, there's so many topics, right? So many
oh yeah,
topics. But it sounds like Bob's willing to, hand off that title if there's someone seriously about, taking on that helm. So I don't think that that's my place as a commentator. I'd love to see someone like a Terrence Ruffin or maybe like a Brandon Curry. I don't know, like somebody who's in the league, who has a reputation for being a good person and is willing to take the helm of like, hey, like I need to advocate for these people because
well, that's
you
the
know
think that's the thing right there. Like we talked about this before, where
we definitely have, yeah,
people watch what they say and how they say it
yeah,
because they don't want this is the bad person, now they're going to get penalized for whatever reasons or whatever.
yeah, especially if they're competing, yeah. Like
Right.
me,
So,
I can't get a press pass to the NPC shows. Like I got my second one declined this last weekend, and it was a military show, a military bodybuilding show.
oh wow,
the
and you're
The
in the
promoter
military.
asked for me by name because he wanted me to do all the interviews, and JM declined it.
Oh
It was
wow.
like a one sentence reply, like your request is denied. I'm like, no signature block, no hello. I mean, let's pretend to be professional here. Like, come on, guys. It's what am I doing wrong? Like,
Oh
this is what I'm
yeah.
doing wrong. I'm just talking.
I was like, I don't know. It's just one of the things where, like, I could see where people would question, like, yo, where's this going? Where's that going, or whatever.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just look at it like if I started my business, this is the work I put in, and these are the
Yep.
rules I say in line. So, if you want
I don't
212, you're gonna
mind.
pay it.
I agree. I do not mind the Manions pocketing a bunch of money, but I just want them to say that they're pocketing money instead of just us assuming that, oh, okay, they're just making like $800,000 a year. I actually want to know, like, yeah, it's like I pay myself this much money because I took this from nothing to this, and this is my legacy, and I feel like I'm entitled to this kind of paycheck.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean
would,
that's fair.
I would shut up if they said that. I'd be like, hey, that's a man right there. Like he just called it. He called it the way it is.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how I would go about it. Hey, it's
That's,
mine.
hey, if
I did
BNN,
this.
hey, I mean I've made a couple grand off BNN and I've invested all that into this camera equipment and stuff. And no one's ever said like, oh, why aren't you giving the money back to the athletes? It's like, well, that's really not my place. That's not my job. My job is to try to give you guys the best product I can. Like, I'm not taking this money and buying vacations, y'all. I'm going to the Olympia. I'm going to the Arnold. I'm making more content for you because I love the sport. But hey, if anyone wants to pay me to go to like Bermuda or something, like, hey, I'm not going to argue.
Don't we always?
Hey, Brazil.
But Brazil was dope. It was
Yeah,
dope.
I'll take a ticket to Brazil,
Oh
but I'm
yeah.
gonna keep my phone in the car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ebanks was crazy. He tried to stick his phone out the window.
Wild, lose a hand. Make sure you
Oh
guys
yeah.
watch episode 2. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's crazy how they reacted to that.
Man. Well, at least they cared. They're like, hey, like be careful.
Oh yeah, because I mean, even when it was our last day there, we're getting ready to go to the airport, and they're doing like a march, and
Oh,
I wanted to record it. So I
yeah.
walked to the street and I'm recording as everyone's walking by. I'm recording it, and the Uber driver's yelling at me, and I look and he's telling me to get over here. I feel like my parents, get over here right now. And I go, and Ebanks like, hey, he said, don't put your phone out there; they'll take it. Like, yo,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Hey, that's like a whole month worth of food for them. or a year.
Yeah,
Who knows?
it was crazy too. So like when I was buying my food, I'll go get the freshly thin cut, chicken breast,
Mm,
and when I seen how much it was like for like 6 pounds was like no, it was like 8 pounds was like $30 or $40.
yeah,
Our for US money. So when I seen that, I was like, I want it all. And they were looking at me like, what? And I'm like, all of it. To where they were like, there's some in the packages in the freezer already. And no, I want all of this right here.
yeah.
So it's just crazy how much cheaper it is there compared to here.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah, I
food tastes
remember.
better.
Well, there's probably less preservatives. It's been
Uh huh.
sitting around less. I mean, shoot, I remember during I think I can say COVID now. I don't know how YouTube works anymore, but I remember just going in one day and the 10-pound bags of chicken breast went from $20 to $30 overnight, and I thought it was a price mess up, and it took me like 2 weeks to figure out no, chickens just cost that much now.
Yeah.
Brother, it's the world has gotten interesting in the
Well,
last half
if we
decade.
vote with our brains and not our emotions, it will
Well,
get better.
it's what I think the U.S. elections are in like 2 months or something. So,
Mm-hmm.
vote however you feel comfortable. What you think is right. Hopefully, it's an educated decision.
Yeah.
Look online. Try to find a couple different. People always say like you got to look at multiple outlets to get the information. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking at the mainstream stuff, it's it's like you're watching a TV show. It's not even real anymore.
Right.
And the stuff that used to be unbiased isn't even unbiased anymore. So it's like, where do I find real information about what these people believe in? The team left and team right. Like, what policies are they actually? And I don't get into politics. It's not a thing. I don't talk about religion either. Like, it's just a thing I don't talk about. But you got to think like, how am I supposed to find this information? Same with the Olympia in the pro league. Like, where do I find this transparency, this open dialogue outside of these podcasts where we get to talk with athletes? And I saw Muscle Discord. He was able to talk with Steve Weinberger. Like, that's the only time you really get to have these conversations. You don't see
Right.
Steve just sitting on his own podcast saying like, well, I saw this show and I respect the judge's decision here, and I think that this is why he made this decision. Like, imagine if you had head judges that just broke down shows like that without feeling like they were going to step on people's toes, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't
We
know. I
might
think it
we
comes to
might get there.
respecting for sure.
It'd be exciting, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it
and
but then again, it'll cause more because let's go back to Brazil with me and Rafa.
yeah,
I say that he wasn't conditioned enough to win that show,
yep.
and a lot of people agreed.
A lot of
You
people.
have the judges saying, well, I chose him because of size. Now, if another judge came and said, well, this was the right choice I would have made. Oh, I can only imagine you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
probably a good thing they don't do that.
it probably makes people think it's like backstabby, but this like then it's you're validating the theory of politics in bodybuilding. It's like, well, I'm
Hmm.
not going to say this because it's going to upset so and so. But
Yeah,
maybe that's what professionalism is all about: is just knowing when to say something and when not to say
when
something.
not to, right?
Right.
And just like I said before, you lose the show, who gives a fuck? Come
Right.
back better next time you win.
And win the Cali.
Right.
There's always, especially for the top tier guys, there's always going to be a show ready for you. You just
Oh
need
yeah,
to, we talked about you going to the gym in the beginning of this episode, just having that resiliency and that reason why. And that's what gets you back
exactly.
on stage every time. And that's what gets you in the gym every day.
Right.
Closing thoughts, Tonio?
No,
Check out
I don't like
Dragon
talking.
Pharma. Use Tonio. Use code. Is it Tonio or Predator?
Oh, it's Predator.
Do use discount code Predator. Hopefully, I can't take this off because I have a different supplement shirt on because I got some old stuff.
Wearing the jacket.
I had this undone, and I was like, I had a little. And I was like, oh no, I can't wear that. I can't wear because it is one of my favorite shirts. It's super comfortable, but like, I think I got it at like the LA Fit Expo for free.
God, I
Dragon
got you.
Pharma, you hook your boy up. Like I need merch.
Yeah,
Where's my swag?
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna get you in contact with Tali.
Tolly, yeah. Let Tolly know. I've been talking with one of them, but very infrequent. So we'll need to figure something out. And who knows? Maybe once I get back to living in, because I bought that camper. Once I live in the camper, they can actually send me a real backdrop.
Oh yeah.
Or they can just give me a thumbs up and I'll just get it myself. But preferably try to keep the budget low.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, go on Instagram and make sure you guys are commenting your questions. If you have questions for Tonio, or if you have questions for me about Monday Morning Muscle, at this point in the show, you can probably just message me directly and I can get it into the show. But make sure you guys comment on the posts. That's the easiest way for me to see those things. So from myself and from Tonio, thank you for watching another episode here on the Monday Morning Muscle Show. And we will see you, beautiful people, next Monday morning. Thanks for watching. Oh, man. Too fun.